Roadrunner Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network. Live from the Dignity Health Studios in downtown Bakersfield, California.
Welcome in once again to Roadrunner Rundown, the official program, CSUB Roadrunner Athletics. Corey Costello here with you. Thanks so much for joining us from the Dignity Health Studios here in downtown Bakersfield, California, where fall has finally arrived in a hurry. So welcome into the program as we are actually, just sort of winding down our fall sports, as a matter of fact, and getting close to the winter, and even the spring sports kind of are on our mind, and that's kind of what we're doing with today's show. We're going to be speaking in the next segment with Tyonna Outland. She, of course, is the graduate senior on the women's basketball squad, preseason WAC Player of the Year. The Roadrunners selected preseason favorites in the conference. We will chat with Tyonna next. She is closing in on some CSUB records as well, and obviously she'd probably like to have a conference championship, a little more than that, but we'll chat with Tyonna coming up in the next segment as we preview the 2014-15 women's basketball season with Tyonna Outland. Also coming up on the program, we will, again, as we're kind of thinking ahead into the spring side of things, we got two new coaches on the baseball side of the shop, and those are Bob Macaluso and Alex Hoover. They will join us on the program. The Roadrunners baseball schedule, matter of fact, released today. We'll talk a little bit about the schedule, but more importantly, we've got two guys coming from assistant coaching spots in the Big West, and now coming to Bakersfield. We'll talk with them about joining the Roadrunners and their goals and coaching styles, as well as they get the fall practices underway. They've been underway for a couple weeks, as a matter of fact, as they work with the Roadrunners preparing for the 2015 season. So Bob Macaluso and Alex Hoover from CSUB Baseball coming up in segment number 3. And final segment of the program today, Marcia Mansur-Wentworth, who is our Director of Track, Field, and Cross Country, will join us. Roadrunners Cross Country, one of the first fall sports to wrap up the year, will be wrapping up their regular season this weekend at the WAC Championships in McAllen, Texas, hosted by Texas Pan American. So we will be speaking with Marcia coming up in the last segment of the program today, previewing this Saturday's big WAC Championship meet. So talking with a lot of different areas to discuss on the program today, and we'll get started though with normally our highlights. And what a great weekend! Women's soccer leading off the show, a pair of wins that pretty much solidified a spot for them in the conference tournament. Starting on Friday night, Bakersfield hosting UT Pan American. The Bronx. Well, this is a Roadrunner squad, and the Bronx, a very good a team. Really, both teams sort of battling for a spot in the Western Athletic Conference tournament, as the Roadrunners in final preparations before the match on Friday night. As actually, this is Sunday's highlights: Bakersfield and New Mexico State, and the Roadrunners really in this one threatening early on. Bakersfield, a lot of this on the weekend as they went after the they went quite a bit ahead of Regafalk. New Mexico State, though, again, the Runners, a lot of this throughout the day as they sent a cross early on. This one just narrowly misses, as New Mexico State, they will take the first goal of the game as they send this one forward, and it's going to be 1-0 New Mexico State, as this one is going to be put through by the Aggies, and they take a 1-0 lead. Roadrunners off the corner looking for the equalizer, and they do get it. It was directly from the corner kick, Jess Moorhead with the goal, as it's a 1-1 match. And Bakersfield, another corner, this one getting off the crossbar, knocked away, and the Aggies will avoid. Here's New Mexico State on the attack once again. And again, the Aggies going to get by the Bakersfield defense, chip it around the keeper, and that makes it 2-1 as the Aggies take the lead. But Roadrunners in the late portion of the second half, threatening again to head a Regafalk. She had 3 goals on Friday night. Sunday, this one is going to just miss, looking for the cross for Jess Moorhead. But second half, and we go into halftime, 2-1 New Mexico State. But Bakersfield will be resilient, as they have been all weekend long. They trailed on Friday night, and just a few minutes into the second half, Bakersfield threatening again. This one taken off the doorstep, though, by New Mexico State. They avoid there, But stop me if you heard this, but another long send from the left side. This is going to be Jess Moorhead trying to set it up for the Roadrunners, getting through a couple defenders. Nice cross. They're going to find Taylor Wheeler, and she's going to put it home, and we are tied at 2 apiece. So Bakersfield battling back from both games, and then they come back again on Sunday afternoon as Wheeler picks up the goal for the Roadrunners. They weren't done, however, as this was our game all weekend long. Long send down the field. Hedda Regafalk, offensive player of the week, gets by the defense. Too easy. Finishes in the far corner. That right there, her 5th goal of the weekend, as she had 3 on Friday night, and a phenomenal offensive outburst just in time for Bakersfield. But they weren't done. Nope. Let's do this one more time. Another long send down the right side of the field. And the cross, and they almost finished. Well, this one didn't quite go, but the runners were not done. They have one more goal in them on Sunday afternoon. 8 goals total for the Roadrunners this entire weekend. I think this one will actually be the final strike. Nice header there. And this one, though, this one taken away as well. But the runners, again, not done. Off the corner kick, been very effective. Played out by the Aggies, but the Roadrunners quickly resetting, and they have an idea. This is a very good Bakersfield play. Let's throw it into the box. Hedda Regafalk, yeah, she does that very well. Another goal. Roadrunners going to win this one 4-2 on Sunday. This came after a 4-2 victory on Friday night as well. So the Roadrunners taking 2 4-2 wins, and most of those games look very similar. As a matter of fact, as the Roadrunners get the win 4-2 over Pan Am and 4-2 over New Mexico State. So Bakersfield wins their 2nd in a row, their 3rd in 4 games. They've clinched a spot in the WAC tournament in Seattle. They have 2 matches remaining, and here's how it's going to go. The Roadrunners will be at home on Thursday night hosting Grand Canyon. That is a makeup game from the one back in September when there was a lightning storm and the power got knocked out there in Phoenix. They're going to make that game up in Bakersfield. It'll be this Thursday night, 7 o'clock at the main soccer field. Then on Saturday, 7 o'clock, the same 2 teams will play, the Roadrunners and Grand Canyon. Bakersfield right now finds himself in good conference standing. Matter of fact, 5th, looking for a few more points in the conference as well. So Bakersfield in the conference tournament, just trying to improve their seed, and they'll have a good Grand Canyon squad to play twice this weekend, starting on Thursday at the main soccer field. Saturday's action available on the WAC Digital Network as well. Other scores from around the Western Athletic Conference: it was Grand Canyon beating Texas Pan Am on Sunday 4-1. Seattle blanked Chicago State 11. Yes, that is right, 11-0. Pretty much eliminating the Cougars from the WAC tournament. Utah Valley over Kansas City 2-0 as well in conference play. Here's the standings for women's soccer right now as it stands. Seattle in first, 7-1-1. Utah Valley at 7-2. Grand Canyon 6-1-1. Bakersfield at 3-5, or make that Kansas City 6-1-1. Grand Canyon 5-3. They're ineligible for the conference tournament, still transitioning. Bakersfield at 3-5, and so the runners right now actually in that 4-seed spot for the conference tournament. 4 will play 5 to get things going, so a good spot for the Roadrunners, and they will be again in action this weekend at the main soccer field. Men's soccer, Bakersfield, not sure what's happening here lately. The Runners dropping their 4th straight match after a hot start. They lose 2-0 to San Jose State on Sunday up in San Jose. Bakersfield now outside of the conference tournament picture with 4 matches to play. Here's what's upcoming for the Roadrunners. Not going to get any easier. Tough road trip this weekend. They'll go to UNLV Friday at 7 o'clock, and then they will be at Grand Canyon Sunday at 1 as well. So tough road for Bakersfield. 4 matches to play. Need some points to get into the conference tournament. Now on to the WAC scores. It was Incarnate Word again winning. They won 4 of their first 5 conference matches. They beat Grand Canyon 3-1. Seattle edging Air Force 1-0 as well. UNLV remains up top of the conference with the 3-2 win over Houston Baptist, and Kansas City edged Utah Valley 1-0. So a busy soccer weekend, and again, one team for Bakersfield looks like they're pretty much in the conference tournament in women's soccer. Men's soccer needs a few points to get, and there's still just a few points separating the top, basically 2 on down. So there's still a lot of race left, and there's 4 matches to play on the men's side, 2 on the women's side. Let's go to volleyball. Bakersfield had a busy weekend. They at home on Saturday, and yeah, don't adjust your camera. They're wearing 2 different colored shoes. Don't ask me why. They just told me colors are fun. That's what they said. First set action, runners take the lead off this Kelsey Sawyer kill. She had 4 on the day for Bakersfield as the Roadrunners going to take the first set, but still first set action. Good rally going here, and then the Roadrunners going to do what they've been doing a lot here lately. Let's go ahead and set Danica Youngblood. That puts it into that. The Roadrunners, she had a game-high 15 kills, by the way. Bakersfield leads 8-5. Serving a story in this one, too. Aaron Riley, with a nice stretch in this first game, picks up the ace here. And, it's got to be the shoes, right? It's got to be the shoes. And it must be, because Riley's still serving for Bakersfield, gets one off the net, another ace. And the Roadrunners start to pull away here in set number 1, and timeout UTPA as they got to figure out how to deal with those shoes because they just can't seem to do it. Coming out of the break, let's head to the net, shall we? Up close and personal. That's setter Louisa Martins coming up right here. She is going to, as the rally continues, take it herself and gets the kill and the Bakersfield point. Roadrunners up 12-5. Aaron Riley continues to serve and records another ace. Bakersfield up 13-5. All smiles from Aaron Riley after that performance. Eventually, though, Pan American will get it back, but not all smiles here. Macy Munson serves right into the back of her teammate's head. Let's look at that again. Yeah. Janae Jonda gets Munson with the serve right in the back of the head. Great blocking by the Roadrunners again, right in your face. Danica Youngblood with the block. 17 on the match for the Roadrunners. Megan Johnson involved as well. Runners back to Youngblood again, who can block, and she can put them down as well. Another kill for CSUB. And why not end it with a block as the Runners, Louisa Martin serving. Texas Pan Am trying to avoid the first set loss, and why not end it with a block? Sydney Haynes with the stuff. Runners win 25-17. Second set still going Bakersfield's way. What a play by Molly O'Hagan off the dig. Doesn't even need a set. Powerful kill. She had 5 on the day. Runners lead again. Give me some. Give me some. That's what Kelsey Sawyer says there. And if this was Monopoly, that was Park Place because owned by Molly O'Hagan right down the middle of the street. Another kill. Bakersfield in control. UTPA pulls within 4. CSUB, though, setting Sydney Haynes. And again, the block goes out. Bakersfield wins 25-20. Third set action, closer throughout. Let's go to the net again, shall we? As Danica Youngblood, you see her there. Molly O'Hagan once again, athleticism. This set, and O'Hagan from the side with the kill. Runners win 25-21. And the third set as well. Bakersfield records the 3-0 victory over UTPA. Upcoming or other volleyball scores. Also, the Runners also lost Thursday night 3-1 to New Mexico State. But New Mexico State turning around and losing. As we look at some of the other scores, actually upcoming for the Roadrunners first. Bakersfield will be at Kansas City. First place Kansas City have yet to lose in the conference. Runners get them Thursday at 7 Central Time. That game available on the WAC Digital Network. And then Bakersfield at Chicago State Saturday at 1 o'clock. Other scores from around the WAC, as we mentioned, New Mexico State losing to Grand Canyon 3-2. So Bakersfield still up there in that the battle for the 2 seed, and it was Chicago State losing to UMKC, who remains unbeaten 3-0. Seattle beat Utah Valley as well 3-1. That's a look around the Western Athletic Conference. Now, real quick, cross country championship note. As we mentioned earlier, CSUB in action this weekend. WAC Championships in McAllen, Texas, hosted by UT Pan American. The Palm View Golf Course on Saturday. Race starts at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And we announced it last week, and I want to make sure everyone knows our big fundraiser coming up on Thursday, December the 11th. Easton Corbin at the Fox Theater, presented by Motor City Auto Center, local group Truxton Mile as well. We'll be involved with this concert. They'll be opening for Easton Corbin. All the proceeds benefit the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund. Tickets are available right now at valleytix.com. Again, this benefits the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund Thursday, December the 11th at the Fox Theater. Tickets again, valleytix.com. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some basketball. Tyonna Outland is in the house. We'll preview the upcoming 14-15 women's basketball season. Back after this, it's Roadrunner Rundown.
Hey everybody, I'm Louis Amestoy, the host of the Baco Motorsports Power Hour here on Bakersfield.com. You can watch us live every Tuesday at 11 o'clock as we talk about things going on at Auto Club Formosa Raceway, at Kern County Raceway Park, and of course the historic Bakersfield Speedway. We'll have results, we'll have interviews with drivers, we'll have updates on Kevin Harvick and Casey Mears on NASCAR. Also talk about NHRA, IndyCar, Formula One. Also be joined by Mike Griffith in studio every day.
Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, real estate, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly business journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
Catch and shoot for three.
Roadrunner basketball season tickets are on sale now. Men's home games include Delaware, UC Riverside, New Mexico State, and Valley rival Fresno State on December 6th. Get your season tickets and be guaranteed your seat when the Bulldogs come to the Accardo Center. Season tickets start at just $99 for general admission. Purchase your season tickets at GoRunners.com or by calling 654-BLUE. CSUB Roadrunner basketball back on the blue court of the Accardo Center this season. We're all runners. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to GoRunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Welcome back into Roadrunner Rundown as we continue on the program. Still to come on the show, we're going to be speaking with Bob Macaluso, Alex Hoover, new CSUB baseball assistant coaches. We'll also talk about their schedule, which is released today as well, and, of course, the upcoming season that they're in fall practice right now for. They'll start in February, but between then and now, basketball will be underway, and that gets going in just a few weeks. As when welcome to the show now, a returning graduate senior on a team that's been together for a while. Tyonna Outland joins us on the show. Tyonna, good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you too. Great.
Let's talk about this season real quick. You get a chance to play as a graduate senior on a team that's been together for quite a few years. Added some key components. How excited are you for this season?
I'm really excited just to continue on with where we started last year and just capitalize on the mistakes and make it further this year than last year.
You know, you guys, you talk about the squad a little bit. I mean, the pieces around you, the ones returning, and kind of the potential for this team as well in your mind.
This year we're way more versatile than last year. We have bigger guards, and our rebounding should be way better, and everybody should be able to contribute better to rebounding because that's where we lacked last year. But this year we have some really good key components, more scoring from different positions, and it's just a lot of pieces that we added. So I'm excited. You
brought up the size. It seems like there is, watching you practice, there's more size than probably any year that you've been here. I mean, before it was just basically Badabe. Now now she's got some help in the post, right?
Yes, because the prior years I was one of the tallest on the team. Now we have way more in the key guard spots because other teams we played, we were always way smaller, so rebounder we would get killed.
Yeah. Well, what newcomers, because there are quite a few, but what newcomers kind of do you expect to add something to this team and be big contributors this year?
We have Tylen Carter. She's a great scorer, just have a natural knack to score, and she's another big guard that could add to rebounding. We have Haley, really good on defense. We have Erica Carmen, the only freshman on the team. She's real deceptible, but she can score and her defense as well. And then we have, who else we had?
You don't forget anybody because you forget them now. Just
Yeah, it's quite a few we added this year. I'm trying to think, what else did we add?
But
London.
There you go.
London, she's another defensive another person that can add on defense, and she can get to the basket. She's really athletic.
Nice, and it seems like you had a good core, but you added some pieces to that as well. Was there a little, ever since a couple weeks ago when it was announced that you guys were preseason favorites, not that you didn't expect it, but you're announced as the preseason favorites to win the conference. Has there been any added extra pressure since that moment?
Well, yes, because now we're the target, and usually we have a target to go after. So now it's like we can't let people down now. Like other people, we would just come in and just basically steal a spotlight. Now we can't let nobody steal ours.
Yeah, and that does kind of change. I mean, for years you've played the underdog role, and now in what is your 5th year here, I mean, you are the favorite. So does that even change the way you prepare?
No, because I mean, whether we were number 3, number 7, or number 1, we were still going to work hard. But now it's just not settling for what everybody else see and just continue to be hungry.
Nice. Tyonna Outland joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. Now, on the individual side, any added pressure on you since you were considered preseason player of the year?
No. I mean, I was a little disappointed last year of not receiving player of the year, but now that it's expected, it's now that I have to go prove a point.
Yeah. I kind of thought that was. I think the coaches blew that one. By the way, it just didn't make any sense. I mean, anyway, so yeah, you get another opportunity this year. What was the biggest difference last year in playing, or what did you learn, I guess, last year in playing in the conference that you'll kind of apply to this season as you get ready for your 2nd year in the WAC?
That we rather make our mistakes early than later.
Mm-hmm.
So, because last year we just kind of fell apart at the end when we rather make that early than later, because at the end of the day, if you don't win the WAC tournament, you're still not going to the NCAA tournament.
Exactly. Now, what was the biggest difference last year playing in the conference as opposed to those years when you played as an independent?
Well, it was way more requirements to get into the NCAAs. It's easier now.
Yeah.
And then we know what to expect and our opponents that we have to, overcome and who are in our way now.
Absolutely. Now, what's been the biggest change that you've been in this program for a while? So what's been the biggest change you've seen in your women's basketball program since arriving in 2010 to now?
Well, we receive more attention, and it's just everybody have more support towards us than when I first came here. And it's a lot of building and we just, I don't know, it's way better than when I first got here.
And another thing too, and I want to bring this up, but you had that injury year. It seems like your work ethic since that injury year has changed and it's been off the chart. Like, what changed that year that you went down? Because you came back 120%, and you just haven't stopped, working out, all that stuff.
Well, my work ethic never changed. It's just that my IQ changed. When I set out that year, I just was able to learn the game and everything. The years prior to that, I didn't think while playing. I just used my athleticism and was ready to go. But now it's I have a more leadership role and people more dependent on me. So I just decided that I have other things that I have to apply to my game than just athleticism.
Well, and the other day, I was in practice the other day, and you guys are kind of scrimmaging. You're going all out. You're yelling. You're telling people what to do. You're hustling on every play. It's just. I guess as a senior leader, that's what Coach McCall probably wants out of you.
Well, yeah, being here. I just learned I had to be more vocal. I was more of a leader by example, and going through just the 5 years. This is my 5th year being here. It's now I know what it takes. I've been in a conference. I've played without a conference, so now I know what's expected for us to make it.
Absolutely. Now, what have you thought at all? You go into the season now. Have you thought about the records at all, the scoring record at all? You need 330 points to become the all-time leading scorer in women's basketball history at CSUB. You had 643 last year, so obviously it's attainable. Is that on your mind at all?
No, I'd rather get W's than win. At the end of the day, if people get more buckets than me and we get the W, That's all that matters. But, I mean, people have approached me about the scoring record and everything, but that's not the first thing that's on my mind.
You need 14 to overtake third place from Kelly Tarver, so that you'll get that in the first game. That won't be an issue. You need, 71 to overtake second from Amber Williams. You'll have that 4 games into the year. And you do need, like I said, 330 points. So based on your average last year, which was 20.3 per game, 20.7 per game, I kind of did the math. I figure you should break the record about 16 games in, so probably January 10th at the Icardo Center against Grand Canyon. That's could be, but I'm thinking that's my guess. I would suggest you do it the game before. It's a non-conference game on January 6th against Santa Barbara. That one's scheduled to be on the WAC Digital Network, so you can do it on to a bigger audience. Let's plan on that game. The 6th.
Okay.
The record, by the way, for most points, 1,796 held by Katie McElroy. You're at 1,467. So, did you think, coming in that? You would be a go-to scorer for all these years?
I always wanted to be, but I didn't know if it would happen or not. But I was determined to be the go-to player.
Well, it's definitely happened, and congratulations. And you guys get going in a few weeks. Your first game. Just what do you did you guys have your scrimmage yet, or is that this weekend?
No, we have a scrimmage versus SC this weekend, Saturday. Then the next weekend we have one versus Northridge.
Okay.
And then we start our season.
Then you start. What's kind of your mindset now? You have a year under your belt in the conference. How do you kind of treat these non-conference games?
Well, a couple of these opponents is some payback because we lost to them. We lost to Air Force by a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
We lost to, I think it was ASU.
Right. And UNLV, very close.
Yeah, we lost to them. So it's just a bunch of payback games, and we're pumped to get these opportunities back. Now we got to take advantage of them.
Yeah, a little extra motivation in the non-conference schedule, which is very cool. All right, Tyonna, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck this season. We'll definitely be talking to you more throughout the year, and I'll keep you posted on the scoring record.
Okay, thank you.
Tyonna Outland here on Roadrunner Rundown. We're going to step away and take a break. We're going to chat some baseball. We've got Bob Macaluso, Alex Hoover coming in studio. They're new assistant coaches with the Roadrunners. Their fall practices are underway. Their schedule came out today as well. We'll talk with them next. We'll be right back. It's Roadrunner Rundown.
Buying a home is one of the most important decisions you can make. Scott Tobias Real Estate is here for you. Allow our seasoned and professional associates guide you through every step of the way. Scott Tobias Real Estate is a full-service real estate company providing expert assistance in residential and commercial real estate. The real estate business has changed in many ways over the years, but the desire for excellent customer service is still very much in demand. Our objective is not to be the biggest, but to offer the best real estate services. We're open 7 days a week.
I am not going to ask him about funguses.
Fungi.
Honey, have you called Gunlox about fixing that toilet upstairs?
I saw a plumbing episode on the Fix It channel. Yeah, I can fix it.
You could try it yourself, or you could just call Gunlax and save your marriage.
Hey, honey, I think I did it.
Gunlax, 327-3052.
That wasn't so bad.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield Californian. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity, on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction. We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to Tyonna Outland joining us in the last segment as the Roadrunners get ready to open their season coming up in a couple weeks. And they no exhibitions for the women's team, couple scrimmages, then their first game coming up at the Cardo Center in a few weeks. But, one team that's really, they're practicing now. They're in the fall portion of their season, and then they get ready, of course, to open for real in February, and that is CSUB baseball. We have a couple new faces. They've been around for a few weeks, but we hadn't get a chance to get them on the show yet. So I figured this is a good time, and actually Coach Kernan thought it was a good time to get you guys on the show. So welcome to the program now. New assistant coaches, Bob Macaluso to my left and Alex Hoover as well. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. How you doing?
Doing good.
Doing good, thank you.
Well, first of all, I know you've been here for a while, but Bob, let's start with you. 6 seasons at UC Irvine, including last year's run of the College World Series. What made you kind of want to come to Bakersfield?
7 seasons.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good opportunity for me to come out here and work under Coach Kernan and get an opportunity to run the offense and just get in the WAC conference and learn some new things and move on in my career.
Nice. And Alex, kind of same question. I know you spent 5 at Cal Poly, coached against runners many times. What made you want to join this, jolly band of misfits here in Bakersfield?
Well, just like Bob said, a chance to coach under Coach Kernan and learn a lot from him, as well as for me personally, is a good chance to do a lot of recruiting, which was kind of the next step up for me in my career. So that combination, and also recognizing that we do play Bakersfield a lot when I was at Cal Poly, and it was very familiar and just seemed like a good fit. So I was really happy to get the opportunity.
Nice. And what's the transition been like for you so far?
It's been actually pretty easy because we're working as hard as we can to get kind of things done. So it's just every day grinding it out in the office or recruiting or planning practices. So it's actually been pretty smooth, and everyone's been actually very helpful, and it's been going. So I'm happy with it.
Nice. Coach Macaluso, same question. What's that transition kind of been like for you from Irvine to Bakersfield?
Hey, it's been enjoyable, really. The last 3 weeks, the weather's been great. When we first got here, it was hot. So it was difficult at first, but we've settled in, and I've enjoyed the practices. I've enjoyed the teams and the coaching staff and all the people that we're working with at the university. And I feel like we're making some progress with the players as we move through the fall here. And so far, it has been a smooth transition.
I know you've been around this game for a while. Have you been surprised how competitive CSUB has been? You've sort of watched them, obviously in the last several years being in the Big West Conference. But were you kind of surprised how competitive the program's been in just basically 6 seasons?
Yes, I have been a little bit surprised when they get going. We played them right out of the start. When they started up,
yeah.
we played them, and they were competitive right from the get-go, playing a really competitive schedule. South Carolina, Arizona State, Irvines, the Fullertons, and Nebraska. We can go on. And every game that we used to play them as an eater, they gave us fits. And they were very competitive games, really good games. We had one game at Bakersfield where our guy was throwing a no-hitter into the 9th inning. They tied it up in the 4th and beat us. Tied it up 4-4 in the 9th and beat us in the 10th. So, yeah, they've done a great job for the 7 years, I believe, they've been up. This will be the 8th.
Yeah. So, just a short amount of time now. You both came from the Big West, and there wasn't a conference tournament. Now there's a conference tournament in the WAC. So, Coach Hoover, does that kind of change the approach a little bit come May because you're thinking about winning these 3 games in 4 days for the most part?
I mean, it may be a little bit. It just obviously places a lot more emphasis on getting hot at the right time, which would be the end of the season. Obviously, it's still important to have a great regular season and get as many wins as you can leading up to the conference tournament. However, I mean, it does place more of an emphasis on setting yourself up and getting the team more prepared or getting it ready to where you can make a run in a conference tournament. So I think maybe the last couple of weeks might far as I'm thinking ahead, that might kind of be where you start thinking about the conference tournament. So that kind of changes, unlike the Big West where you're just thinking as many wins as you can to finish the season. And so in that sense, I'm sure that's might be a new thing to look out for. I'm sure Coach Kernan he will learn from last season and give us some advice on how to prepare for that. So it's definitely going to be a change because, like I said, I've never been in it, and I'm looking forward to it. And it kind of makes a nice little, if you can win that and roll into a regional after that, I think it would be, you'd be a hot team and tough to beat. So
yeah, I know you were kind of talking about your roles with the squad, and are you kind of a defensive guy? Correct? Played second base, right?
Yeah, I was a defensive guy. That'll be, I'll be doing a lot of that as well. Coach Macaluso and I think have done a great job helping each other out with just whatever responsibilities we have.
Yeah.
Kind of overlapping and trying to get a lot done. But I will be doing more of the defense. Coach Mac, like I said, will be doing a lot of the running the offense. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the season. To be honest with you, I can't wait for it to start.
Let's talk real quick defensively. A lot of a little bit of shifting around in the infield, but a lot of experience still coming back. So you kind of look at that at the position players. I mean, you got to be fairly confident in their abilities and have a pretty good group to work with.
Oh, I am, and it starts. I mean, the old saying is you want to be strong up the middle, and we have a chance to be really strong up the middle with the catching position with 2 senior catchers, and then up the middle you have David Metzger, who had a great freshman year, and Miles Jones making the transition over to short, throwing Sanchez as well, and then you go to center field and Jordy Hines. So that's pretty good leadership up the middle, guys, veteran players, guys with experience. So I am very fortunate to have those type of guys already in this program. So it's been they've been a pleasure to coach, and defense should be a strength of ours. I'm anticipating, and hopefully we can build on what they did last year.
I know a lot of what is accomplished in the spring is actually really done in the fall. It's a real important time for this team, Coach Mack. I mean, your thoughts on this team and the work that's been put in here so far in the fall, preparing you for the spring.
Well, I like the way the guys go about their daily preparation. I think they work hard. They get out to the field every day and get ready to go. The practices are competitive and energetic. And it's also somewhat of it's been an adjustment for them and for me, running somewhat of a different practice. I'm sure they're used to a different type of practice, and we're trying to instill some new things for them to learn in the fall here, so when we get going in the spring, it won't be so new and we'll be ready to go.
We talked earlier about the difference and obviously preparing for a conference tournament, but you two also have had successful postseason runs fairly recently. So do you kind of bring that element into these players when knowing what it takes to get into the postseason and put together that kind of winning team?
Well, hey, I'd like to take it day by day. I think if a good analogy is pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat, inning to inning, and I think that's the way we have to approach the fall. It's day by day, and just do the best you can, and learn as much as you can, and things will hopefully fall in place. You look up the scoreboard at the end of the game, and hopefully you get the lead in the ninth. But I don't think you want to look too far ahead. I think if you're doing it right each and every day and getting after it to the best of your ability, that's going to give you the best chance to win and get into the playoffs.
I know you both have had different experience, different levels of baseball as well. What is it about Division I that continues to be where you want to be as a coach?
I think just it's the highest amateur level if you think of it that way, and the competitiveness and playing in front of good crowds in those universities and colleges. It's just, to me, it's a great experience. Not that Division II or any lower levels are a bad place to coach at. There's many good jobs at the lower levels as well, but I just kind of like being, at the highest collegiate level, and it's the competitiveness, the atmospheres. Just for example, at Cal Poly, what we did the last month of the season with our crowd and the university and everybody getting behind it, it was a great experience. And And that's something that I really love, as well as, doing your job, which is coaching at the highest level that I can as well. That's the type of guy I am. So that combination of, my career and being at a university is this is where I want to be.
Schedule just came out today. I think both your former teams are on it, right?
Yes, they are.
So I did a 3-game series at Irvine this spring in March, I believe it is. So you looking forward to heading back down and seeing some old faces on the other side of the bench.
Yeah, that should be a fun week. We play Fullerton on Wednesday, as you know, and stay over. This is going to be a tough week.
Yeah.
And they're in finals that week. So, but anyway, Fullerton on Wednesday, and then Irvine for the weekend. So that'll be a tough week, but a good week and an enjoyable week. Playing at Irvine, one of the best facilities on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So should be a fun week for us.
A couple Cal Poly games usually kind of sprinkle in throughout the year. So obviously you'll see them spread out a little bit throughout the season.
Yeah, we got home and home Tuesdays with them, so we go over there on a Tuesday. Which will still be great. It'd be kind of nice. I'm from kind of that area, so it'd be a nice little homecoming for me and see some friends. But like Coach Max said, they're going to be tough games when we play both our ex teams. So it's going to be fun.
And real quick, just the WAC as a baseball conference had Sacramento State had a good run last year, and CSUB got hot towards the end. And it seems like there are some good programs in the Western Athletic Conference, and I know there's some affiliate members as well. But it seems like it's starting to build up a little bit from a baseball standpoint.
I think so. To be honest with you, I'm not really familiar with the WAC yet. I went over teams like Seattle are really improving. Northern Colorado has a ways to go, but I heard they're doing okay. I know Grand Canyon is going to be really good.
Yeah.
They've already turned the corner in a short period of time. I would expect they're going to be very competitive. And like you said, Sacramento State has done a really good job over the last couple of years. So those are some of the teams to beat in the WAC. So yes, it's an up and coming conference, and I think CSUB should be right in the mix for to be competitive in that conference tournament.
Yeah, we hope that's the case this year. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Welcome to Bakersfield officially. It's not official to actually come on the program. That's how it works. Until you come to the show, then then now you're officially welcomed in. But continued good work. I know you guys have been doing a lot in the fall, so good luck as that. And we will definitely see you in the spring as the season opens for real. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, Bob Macaluso, Alex Hoover here on Roadrunner Rundown. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the upcoming Cross Country Championship this Saturday in McAllen, Texas. Marcia Mansur-Wentworth will join us back after this. It's Roadrunner Rundown.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield, California. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores. Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, real estate, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly business journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Louis Amestoy, the host of the Baco Motorsports Power Hour here on Bakersfield.com. You can watch us live every Tuesday at 11 o'clock as we talk about things going on at Auto Club Formosa Raceway, at Kern County Raceway Park, and of course the historic Bakersfield Speedway. We'll have results, we'll have interviews with drivers, we'll have updates on Kevin Harvick and Casey Mears on NASCAR. Also talk about NHRA, IndyCar, Formula One. Also be joined by Mike Griffith in studio every day.
Catch and shoot for three.
Roadrunner basketball season tickets are on sale now. Men's home games include Delaware, UC Riverside, New Mexico State, and Valley rival Fresno State on December 6th. Get your season tickets and be guaranteed your seat when the Bulldogs come to the Accardo Center. Season tickets start at just $99 for general admission. Purchase your season tickets at GoRunners.com or by calling 654-BLUE. CSUB Roadrunner basketball back on the blue court of the Accardo Center this season. We're all runners. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes, we're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to GoRunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
And welcome back here to Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to Bob Macaluso, Alex Hoover, new CSUB assistant baseball coaches joining us earlier on the program. Also, Tyonna Outland from women's basketball as well joining us on the show. And I want to remind folks you can get, as basketball season inches closer, tickets are available at valleytix.com right now. All single game tickets are now on sale for men's and women's basketball. You can get those tickets online right now at valleytix.com. Well, the first fall sport to sort of wrap up will be cross country, and the first WAC championship is this Saturday as the cross country championships head to McAllen, Texas. And joining us now in studio, our director of track and field and cross country, Marcia Mansur-Wentworth. Marcia, good to see you again. How you doing?
Good. Hi. How are you, Corey?
Good. Well, getting ready for your second WAC championships this weekend in McAllen. So, what are the girls kind of feeling right now as the days sort of count down?
I hope that they're starting to feel confident. I think they're a little nervous. But I would think that the workouts we've done this year are indicative of us improving, which is all we can look for at this point. They're a little nervous.
Yeah. Recap the season for me. I know you probably didn't meet all the goals you wanted to get to, but sort of assess what has been accomplished this season by this squad.
What we've accomplished is we've raised the bar on our work ethic, which is the number one thing you have to do before you're going to be successful. So their attitudes have changed at practice. They haven't shown quite the courage on race day that I hope, but I think they just still don't believe in themselves. We've done some phenomenal workouts, and they've walked away from them. Having an Olympian as an assistant coach has been tremendously helpful because, you got somebody like that believing in you. And I just think there's a little bit of a lag time that I underestimated, and we had a really good showing at Fresno. It was a 4,000-meter race, so it's a little bit shorter. We were able to be more aggressive, and we had a really good showing there. And then we had a good showing at the Masters, at the Mustang Challenge, where we ran some of our best times and competed well, particularly in our 1, 2, 3 spots. And our challenge is going to be to pull up our 4, 5, and 6, and be a little more aggressive, a little more courageous, and really believe in what they've done. And those are the challenges that we have, is just getting them to believe.
I'm saying, do you see that kind of happening? For the most part, I mean, it's going to be their last race. I mean, are you trying to basically instill the fact that, hey, there's nothing to save this for, like, just go,
Yeah, you try to do that, but and, we do want them to light it up, and I'd rather them go out and be aggressive and fall flat on their faces than to save anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to get across, is take risks. We have nothing to lose. We're not a favorite. Go out there and make yourself a hero.
Yeah.
And I've never faulted anybody for going for it and blowing up, because I think that takes a lot more courage than to, be tentative and fearful and never find out how far you can go. And so that's our challenge.
Yeah, and I know you've worked through some injuries and some illness this year. How are those situations going into this weekend's finals?
Ariana's doing fine. She had some plantar fasciitis in both feet, which is quite painful.
Both. I know NFL players that have been sidelined by one foot, but both.
Well, and the thing is she's one of those people, she's never been hurt before,
Yeah.
and she's a very biomechanically sound runner, and it's just that she's been training so darn hard. It was just a slight overuse injury,
Wow.
and she's doing great now, and she's a gamer. I
Yeah.
mean, she's primarily an 800-meter runner, but she's a gamer. We lost Rory Broughton for the year, possible relapse of valley fever, so that obviously was a sting.
Yeah.
Megan and the anemia issues has been a challenge for us. We've gotten a really good surprise from our freshman Angel Valdez, a local girl out of Bakersfield East High School, and she is like Ariana. She's fearless. She's not afraid to go out, and she's a racer. And I think in a couple years she's going to be able to be very competitive at the Division I level. But I couldn't be more pleased with her success.
Speaking of this weekend's championship, the course is set up on a golf course in McAllen, so near UT Pan American. Golf course running kind of in your team's wheelhouse, right?
Yeah, most of your championship courses are on golf courses or cross-country specialty courses that are basically golf courses that got turned that nobody wants to play golf on anymore, and
Yeah.
so they turn them into cross-country courses. But this is on a golf course, so we're looking at level footing, 100% grass. I know the area's flat, so it's it should be a flat, fast course. The weather's going to be warm, which we're
Yeah.
obviously used to. They're going to have a little more humidity, which we're not used to, but we're running at 8 o'clock in the morning, which should be ideal. So.
Yeah, right in your team's strength, that's for sure. Now, last season we saw the work in cross country really seem to pay off in the spring and also even in the winter indoor season. I mean, do you kind of see the same thing happening this year?
Oh, very much so. Ariana is so far ahead of where she was last year, and I don't want to jinx her, but I'm hoping that she'll vie for a WAC title in the 800 because she's so much stronger. She's 3 minutes better than she was last year in
Wow.
cross country. I hope she's knocking on the 210 door. Megan Thompson is going to take a better crack at the steeplechase with the help of Lindsay Anderson, and I'm hoping that a few of these other ones step up and are able to be competitive at the WAC level for us. But yeah, cross country lays a great foundation, and we are a better track team.
Yeah, Ariana was a third place finisher last season in the indoor 800. I mean, do you expect her to be?
She should be a contender this
Yeah.
year. I've even talked to her about it, and she is fearless. She has excellent racing instincts. She's the type of athlete that comes along once or twice in a coach's career, and I
Yeah.
feel fortunate to have her.
She's probably excited, though, too. Once cross-country season ends, she's like, yeah, now this is easy. I can do this 800 stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all relative after
Yes.
cross country. But
Yes.
she's, like I said, she's improved by over 3 minutes, and that is a ton in cross country. So I look at that, and I'm just so psyched about watching her run this winter and this spring.
Yeah, and again, the spring season around the corner too, where you'll have the men's track squad as well. I mean, just real quick preview of that. I mean, are you looking? What are you looking at strengths this year in that squad?
Well, obviously, on the men's side, we return conference champion and NCAA qualifier Brian Wilmert. He is way ahead of last fall, so I think 200 feet in the hammer is definitely in his sights.
Nice.
He wants to defend. He wants to go back to the NCAA regionals. Richie Maestri, a fifth-year senior, was all-conference last year in the 400 hurdles, had a big improvement, and he's way ahead of last year. So keeping him healthy is a challenge. We have Carnell Grimes back, who was all-conference in the javelin, and we have two new, I'd call them seriously impact athletes on the men's team that should help us in the jumps and the hurdles, and then we have some serious impact on the women's team. We signed a girl 400 hurdler out of Riverside Junior College. She has a phenomenal work ethic and one of the best attitudes I've seen. And then we have two jumpers joining us. So hopefully they'll raise the bar for the rest of them, and more people on the podium this year.
Yeah,
that's our goal.
That's all. It's always good. All right, real quick, back to cross country. You touched on them briefly, but again, the keys for your team this Saturday at the WAC Championship in McAllen.
Aggressive, confident, mentally tough in the middle, and we believe we will run our best race on Saturday, and that's all you can hope for.
There you go. All right. Well, good luck to you, and safe travels down there. And hopefully this year there won't be any airport drama. You guys can get there in plenty of time.
Yep. Thank you.
Looking forward to that. Marcia Mansur-Wentworth here on Roadrunner Rundown. All right, folks. By the way, real quick, once again, I want to remind everybody you can get tickets for upcoming basketball season available at valleytix.com, and, of course, also on GoRunners.com, the link to the schedule page as well. And you can get all the upcoming tickets for men's and women's basketball online, valleytix.com, GoRunners.com as well. Once again, reminder, women's soccer this Thursday. They'll be hosting Grand Canyon. Also, Saturday night at 7 o'clock hosting Grand Canyon as well. That match is going to be available on the WAC Digital Network, as is Thursday evening's match for volleyball at First Place Kansas City. That will start at 5 Pacific and also available on the WAC Digital Network. Just go to wacsports.com, click the Digital Network link, and you can find that there. And you can also get coverage of the Cross Country Championships available this weekend as well through wacsports.com, GoRunners.com as well, happening this Saturday in McAllen, Texas. Also, get this show anytime online at GoRunners.com, and more details about the Easton Corbin concert benefiting the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund December the 11th, and Truxton Mile, the opening act, at some point is going to find their way into the studio. They've already promised a studio set here on Roadrunner Rundown. So one of these days I'll just kick back for like half an hour and let people play music. That's what we're going to end up doing. Truxton Mile going to be opening. They're a local group out of Bakersfield and Taft. They'll be opening for Easton Corbin. Again, that's December the 11th at the Bakersfield Fox Theater. Tickets are available right now, valleytix.com. VIP and sponsor packages available as well by calling Mark Mays in the CSUB Athletics office, and also details at GoRunners.com. All right, get the show anytime online. You can follow us as well on Facebook, facebook.com/CSUB Roadrunners, on Twitter and Instagram at CSUB Athletics. Next week on the show, more previews as the upcoming men's and women's basketball season gets closer. Also, more to come from women's soccer as they get ready for the WAC tournament coming up next week in Seattle. We'll be chatting with some of those student athletes and coaches as they get ready for their first WAC conference tournament next week in Seattle on the women's soccer side, and much, much more. Join us next week right here on Roadrunner Rundown. Thanks so much for joining us. My thanks to Tyonna Outland, also Bob Macaluso, Alex Hoover, and Marcia Mansur-Wentworth for joining us on the show. This has been Roadrunner Rundown.